Amos is shown visions of various kinds, particularly those 5 visions clumped in chapters 7, 8, and 9. And this is true of the prophets generally. These visions might be visions of God speaking, or visions of God performing some kind of action. They might also be visions of perfectly ordinary objects or events that carry some sort of symbolic significance. So we have 5 visions in Amos in chapters 7 through 9, and some of them are visions of ordinary objects, but those objects have some special coded meaning or symbolic significance for Israel. And then we have visions of extraordinary things as well. So we have a locust plague. It's about to consume the crop right after the king has taken his share, his taxes of the crop. Not such an extraordinary vision. But then there's a vision of a fire that consumes the lower waters that are pressed down below the earth and which threatens to consume even the soil, the earth itself. So it's an extraordinary vision. We have a vision of a plumb line, right? The tool that's used by builders. There's a vision of God destroying worshipers in the temple. The vision in chapter 8 is an ordinary vision. It's a vision of a basket of summer fruit. The Hebrew word for summer or summer fruit is kaitz. And this is a pun because the word kaitz means end. So the vision of kaitz is indicating or symbolizing the ketz, the end of Israel. And these kinds of symbolic visions will very often typically include puns of this type. So another point to make about just the literary features of prophetic writings is that they do contain or employ a variety of literary forms. One commonplace form that you will see over and over again in these writings is a form that we call the oracle, an oracle against the nations. This is found in Amos. It's found also in the 3 large prophetic writings, Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel. Amos 1 and 2 contains 7 of these oracles that inveigh against the nations. But Amos gives the form a new twist, and this is what's interesting. 6 of the 7 oracles are directed against surrounding nations, and they are excoriated for their inhumane treatment of others, Israelite and non-Israelite, during wars and conflicts. As punishment for their terrible war atrocities, a divine fire is going to break out and destroy all of their palaces and fortified places. But then the twist comes, because after these 6 horrific oracles which condemn the nations for these brutal acts of atrocity and war, Amos then turns to address his own people. And he says the same divine power will consume the people of Yahweh because of the atrocities and inhumanities that they commit even in times of peace. So the 7th, the climactic oracle, announces that God's wrath will be directed at Israel. And this is a very unwelcome, unexpected statement. And you can see how he perhaps would almost draw his audience in with these images of their enemies getting what they deserve, only to then turn it around, having drawn them in, seduce them, if you will, with his words, to turn around and then charge them with something even worse. The term Israel that he uses is, of course, ambiguous. That's one of the problems with some of the prophetic writings. You're never completely sure whether they're prophesying against the northern kingdom, Israel, or the house of Israel, right? Both kingdoms together, the whole tribal confederation. Some passages in Amos would suggest one, some passages suggest the other.